Salsa the cat buzzed up to BK the dog's apartment. Salsa was worried BK had not been seen or heard from in weeks. There was no answer. Salsa tried again, this time really leaning on the buzzer. Still, no answer. Salsa had a key to BK's apartment, so it was just a matter of getting inside the building. Salsa hit all the buttons on the call box and hoped for the best. "There we go," exclaimed Salsa, as someone in the building buzzed him in. Salsa entered the building, walked up the 3 flights to BK's apartment, and let themselves in. Inside BK's apartment, dirty dishes were stacked high on the counter. Piles of laundry, mail, and newspapers covered the floor. The place smelled terrible. BK was in bed, covers pulled over their head. BK wasn't moving. Salsa swallowed hard. They felt dizzy. But then, "What are you doing here?" Salsa heard BK groan as they rolled over in bed. BK sounded more confused than angry. Salsa let out a deep breath. "Oh man, thank goodness. I thought you were..." Salsa's voice trailed off. "Never mind. We were worried about you. You've missed performances. No one has seen or heard from you in weeks. You're not picking up your phone, and just now, you wouldn't even buzz me up," said Salsa. "I needed to be alone. I'm fine. It's none of your business anyway," replied BK. "You're not fine. Look at this place," responded Salsa. BK looked around. "So it's a little messy. I like it here. I can be alone, and besides, what reason is there to leave?" "Don't you want to do your shows, see your friends?" asked Salsa. "I don't want to perform anymore. I don't want to see anyone." Something didn't make sense, so Salsa pressed on. "Biz, Six, Patch, and Shuffle, the whole crew, they miss you. They want to see you," said Salsa. "I don't want to see them. I don't want to see anyone. I want to be left alone," said BK. "That's hurtful. You and me, we've been friends for over 20 years. You don't even want to see me?" asked Salsa. For almost a minute there was silence. Then, "All right. I'll get out of bed," replied BK. BK got out of bed, went to the sink, and cleaned and filled 2 glasses of water. BK handed one of the glasses to Salsa. They sat down on the edge of the bed. "I've missed you," said Salsa. BK looked down at his feet. "I missed you too. I'm sorry," answered BK. Salsa noticed BK's eyes were red and puffy. "What's going on?" Salsa asked. "Things are so dark. Nothing gets better." "Everything was a waste," BK paused. "I'm just so tired," BK sighed. "Where's all this coming from? Your shows are getting record attendance. You just signed all those touring gigs?" questioned Salsa. "It's not a work thing. It's the citizens of Waz. I'm feeling it for a while. But this election," BK continued. "They made it pretty clear how they felt about dogs." "Thought you were over that," said Salsa. BK continued. "My whole life I've been nice to them. Donated to their causes, taught their kids, helped when asked. I haven't caused any problems. I've done nothing to hurt them," explained BK. "You need to treat me like everyone else. Just let me live my life," finished BK. Now made sense to Salsa. The election was ugly. Dogs were painted as lazy and violent. They were scapegoated for the rise in crime and increase in homelessness. Some citizens even advocated for relocating all dogs to upstate farms. But BK was such a positive and non-political person. It never occurred to Salsa that BK would be hurt. Salsa felt bad that their friend had been suffering all this time. They didn't realize it. "I get it," said Salsa. BK continued, their voice getting louder. "Why should I entertain these people anymore? Why should I bust my butt training and performing for them? Apparently they hated me the whole time," said BK, with noticeable anger and frustration. Salsa was quiet for a moment. Salsa now understood why their friend was so sad. why BK had locked themselves in their apartment for days. In many ways, BK wasn't wrong, but Salsa didn't want to see their friends suffer like this. Didn't think it would be fair for the world to destroy a good person like BK. But Salsa also didn't think all the hope was lost for the city of Waz. There was still good in its people. Maybe Salsa was just being naive. They hadn't been part of the group targeted. Regardless, Salsa wasn't willing to give up on Waz, wasn't going to give up on BK. Choosing the right words was going to be difficult. Salsa wanted to make sure BK felt heard and understood, but also understand that there was hope, that things were not as bad as BK saw them. Finally, Salsa answered, "You're right. The election was messed up. And there has been an increase in attacks on dogs. Overall, it does seem like bad things do keep happening to dogs." Salsa paused and took a breath, then continued, "So I guess we have some things to figure out. Do you want to stop performing completely?" "Well, I guess not completely. It's my favorite thing to do," answered BK. "Okay. Well, you want to stop being a dog?" asked Salsa. BK laughed. "Guess that's not really an option, is it?" answered BK. BK continued, "Besides, it's who I am. I'm not changing who I am for anybody." There it was. That was the BK Salsa knew. Salsa continued, "You know that almost 50% of people voted for the pro-dog candidate." "Yeah," answered BK suspiciously. "Well, they should be allowed to see your shows, right?" asked Salsa. "Of course. I'm sure that most of the people who come to my shows are pro-dog," explained BK. "Right," replied Salsa. "But I don't want to perform for those anti-dog people," argued BK. "Completely get that," said Salsa. "But I don't think we can legally exclude them. This place is crazy. They can make whatever laws they want targeting my people. I can't even stop them from coming to my shows," BK said angrily. "Well, if they're going to come to the shows, why don't you turn this into an opportunity? Do some good and re-educate them about dogs," said Salsa. Okay, sure, I guess, but how?" BK asked somewhat doubtfully. They had always thought Salsa was overly optimistic. Salsa answered, "How about you donate 10% of all your show revenue to pro-dog causes? And at the start of each show, you can play the short film we made last year for the festival about the contributions of dogs to society. The one that attacked all those anti-dog myths. I'd still rather just kick out all anti-doggers at the beginning of the show, preferably after they've paid and suffer the consequences. But your way works too, I guess," said BK. "So you're good with my approach? You're going to perform again?" asked Salsa. "I didn't say that, but maybe. I still don't know if I want to leave the apartment. Waz is still pretty messed up, and it looks like it's going to be messed up for a while. So, probably should wait it out here," explained BK. "So you remember that things used to be worse, right? Dogs and cats were treated worse. Pretty much everyone was treated worse. But you and me were out there working on it, and things got better. So yeah, bad now. Yeah, it slipped a bit. But it's not getting better by you staying in bed and living in your own filth," said Salsa. "Wow, that's harsh. It's not that bad in here." BK paused. "Okay. It's kind of bad," replied BK. BK continued, "Okay, fine. You have a point. But you could be nicer about it. My own filth? Jeez. You sound like the anti-doggers." Salsa sighed. "So you're gonna promise to leave the apartment, get back to performing, and do something about this anti-dog stuff? You stop calling me dirty and busted into my place when I'm obviously trying to sleep. Sure. You have to help me set up that whole film thing," said BK. "Of course," said Salsa. "Now go take a shower and then we'll head to the park and meet up with the others for drinks." "I thought you weren't going to call me filthy anymore," said BK. "I did not," smiled Salsa. "Whatever," said BK. "Give me 10 minutes and we'll head out." 10 minutes later, Salsa and BK left the apartment to meet their friends in the park. The day was warm and bright. BK had forgotten how sunny a place Waz could be.